welcome everybody that's here, but particularly those people who have been nominated by the president. Obviously, they got family and friends with them that are proud, and you should be. Today, we'll hear from two panels. On the first panel, we'll hear from Michael Brennan, nominated to serve as Circuit Court Judge, 7th Circuit. Second panel, we have nominees to the District Court of Colorado and a nominee to chair the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board. Before I turn to the ranking member, I want to say just a few words about Mr. Brennan's nomination to the 7th Circuit. He is nominated for a Wisconsin-based seat that has been vacant since 2010. Mr. Brennan comes to the committee today with bipartisan support and an impressive legal career, including experience in both the public and private sector, as a state judge, and a well-qualified rating. Senator Ron Johnson returned his blue slip for Mr. Brennan. Senator Baldwin declined to return hers. We've exchanged letters and we've had a couple conversations on that subject. So even though the blue slip from Senator Baldwin hasn't been returned, I've nevertheless concluded that Mr. Brennan should receive a hearing. As I've explained, a negative or unreturned blue slip won't necessarily prevent a circuit court nominee from a hearing, unlike it probably would for other nominees that come from the White House, like district judges and marshals and U.S. attorneys. And it won't prevent a hearing unless the White House failed to consult with home state senators before choosing the nominee. After reviewing the record, it's clear that the White House did consult with Senator Baldwin regarding the nomination. In addition to Mr. Brennan, the White House also considered two candidates, as Senator Baldwin suggested. Senator Baldwin expressed to me that she's frustrated by the state of Wisconsin's Judicial Nominating Commission, which has been dysfunctional and unable to recommend candidates to judicial vacancies. While I sympathize with this concern, the commission's current shortcomings can't be allowed to impede the president's constitutional duty to appoint federal judges. I'll also note that Senator Johnson returned his blue slip for President Obama's most recent nominee to this seat last Congress, even though the commission had also failed to act in accordance with its charter in that situation. I held a hearing on President Obama's nominee for this seat, and he was voted out of committee. Finally, Mr. Brennan was the only candidate to receive bipartisan support from the commission last year, even though he did not get the supermajority that the commission rules require. Based on the facts of the recommendation and the White House's consultation with both senators, today we're moving forward with Mr. Brennan's nomination. I'm now ready for Senator Feinstein, then I'll call on the senators to introduce.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I ask consent to place a letter in the record from Senator Baldwin to you, and also the statement of Senator Patrick Leahy, if I may.
They will be submitted without objection, and since Senator Baldwin wants her letter submitted, or you're submitting it for her, I also have my most recent correspondence with her that I'd like to put in the record at this point. Is there any objection? None heard, so we'll proceed.